Hey everyone, welcome to the Search Nav and Supports Sprint Release update for the iteration of July 3rd to 14th. Yeah, awesome iteration, lots of exciting things going on. So with that, I'll kick things off by passing it over to Lauren to read for TME.
Yeah, so this iteration, she worked on, we had a horizontal scroll button that happened when we localized some pages and we added French, German, Japanese in the navigation. Because of the longer character counts, there is some weird cutoffs happening. So we made an iteration there, but we're gonna need to make another one. So she worked on that. She's been working on publishing all of our language QA round 2 for all of our current Japanese pages. We had our translators look at them again and provide another round of content. That's about 10 pages there. And did a partner merge request. So added or updated Phoenix to Squash on our partners page. And then I'm going to share my screen because we did a super cool thing yesterday, which she was also the leader for, was our 4.10 nav release, and we live streamed it. So you can see our lo-fi hip hop intro there. And that was pretty cool. So that will wrap it up for TMA, and I will pass it to Megan.
Thanks, Lauren. Pretty busy in this sprint. First, we finally closed the Marketo email template. We got that in a great spot, and Allie signed off on it. So that felt really good to close that one out. And then we can move on to iterable. Followed up on previous iterations I made, got the 6 cents personalization released, as well as, because they were kind of in tandem, the nav loading speed issue that was fixed. We saw, like, for my internet speed, like an 85%, it's faster by 85%. So we were at like 250 milliseconds of full loading time, and now we're at like 35 milliseconds. So the bad news is we got it in production with the nav release yesterday, and it's not quite working. So I have to keep iterating on that. It's a little frustrating how things are working in our review apps, and when you build things out locally, and it's great. So it makes troubleshooting a little harder, but we're so close. I'm looking forward to getting those changes, like really working in production, because that's a big speed increase. Next, I hotfixed an issue on the English homepage, specific to the English version, where the view source and edit buttons weren't working. They were looking for like the English US file path, and we don't use that, despite like the Nuxt internationalization module being like, you're using that, right? And it's all fixed. And then finally, I can demo this out. I worked on the privacy and privacy cookies pages for localizing them, just walls of text. So the English version lives in like the handbook, but we got these looking pretty on the marketing site. That's all for me. I'll pass it off to, I think Javi's next.
Yeah, thank you, Megan. This iteration, I finally closed the preference center and integrations page issues that were open for a while. The Japanese looks like, I think it was the Japanese, or it was one of the forms is still being worked on by marketing ops, so we'll get that in there whenever it's ready. But that should be pretty simple to do, just one line code change. Worked with changing out the static links in the nav and the footer to work with some of our other navigation changes, as mentioned in our live stream. Updated all of the French content, essentially with the updated round, and working through some of the functional bugs later today. Gonna still try to troubleshoot the root HTML element line property. I've been wrestling with that yesterday and the day before, and think it's trickier than I thought it was gonna be. So we're gonna see how that goes. But I have some notes in the issue. And then I want to share the Lighthouse CI job results, as well as some iteration in terms of how we collect the data, so that we can, persist that data instead of having it being temporary storage. That's it for me. I'm gonna pass it off to John.
Thank you, Javi. Well, this iteration I worked on improving the phone loading. Sorry for thinking. Improving the phone loading in our site. So let me share real quick. Here. So before, when we loaded the page, you can see that the fonts were different for an amount of milliseconds, and then it changed to our font that is currently on GitLab. Right now, it doesn't happen, so it loads the fonts needed right away. So that is a huge improvement on performance. Also, I did a change to remove all dynamic redirections in the navigation and inverted experience. So let's say we have the homepage in English. We have the homepage in English. If we change to German, we will be redirected to the German page. But here in the browser, the language of the user will be saved as German. And if I go back to the English version, I shouldn't be redirected to the German version as it happened before, even though the language of the user is still German. Also, I did a change to keep static links in our site. Right now, I have this preview app, but if you see here below, I have it a little bit high. If you see below, sorry. Okay, if you see below, we have an static link to the French version of the sales page. And it is the same for every other static link. So we do not have any more dynamic links because we have SEO issues with dynamic links. So we changed our approach to static links. And you can see it here. We are redirected to the sales French page without dynamic redirection, but static redirections. And that's it for me. Next one is Trevor.
Thanks, John. From design, this iteration primarily worked on the DevSecOps survey report for Q3, just gathering data from Q1 and Q2 to help inform us for Q3, which would be on the subject of artificial intelligence. So made good progress there, but ultimately decided on pausing this until September, when it's a better time to release this particular survey report. Other than that, worked on some other things in terms of updates to the GitLab Duo page. So just made some changes to the hero section as well as the hover states on the feature cards, just to make it a bit more aligned with our current styling within slippers. Also some minor support for Megan as she worked on the German documentation pages, as well as supported resolving an issue within Typeform for our maturity assessment experience. So that's back up and running. So yeah, that was it for me. This iteration, I will pass it over to Lori.
Right. So main thing is booted up an issue so we can iterate on our qualified chat box, and we've made some progress there. Before it was popping up and taking over like the whole screen on mobile. So I'll show you the changes that we've worked with on marketing ops. So here is, I have my browser set. Before this was popping up, so it was the whole screen, but now it's just the icon. And if you click on it, then it'll initiate the qualified chat. So nice iteration there. We still have some more work to do there, but some really good collaboration with marketing ops on getting that changed. So that will wrap it up for Search Nav support for this iteration, and we'll see everyone next week.